What's up, everybody, and thank you for listening to Mastering the Mindset. My name is Dariusdotch, and I'm an actor, hip-hop artist, and fitness and life coach. And I'm here to personally help you train and improve your mindset so that you can, 1, become the best version of yourself mentally, and 2, gain focus and motivation to be able to take action and achieve the success in life that you want and deserve. Before we get started, please like and subscribe to my channel, and at the end of this episode, if you liked it, please share it with a friend or loved one or someone who would benefit from hearing this message. I'm so glad you're here, and I'm ready to go on this journey with you, and that journey begins now. All right, and welcome back to another episode. So today I'm going to talk to you about why positive thinking just doesn't work. Yep, I'm going to explain to you why positive thinking just doesn't work. And that might sound weird to you, especially since the name of this podcast is called Mastering the Mindset. And all I talk about is changing the way you think. So what the hell am I talking about? I'm going to talk about why positive thinking just doesn't work for most people and how to actually make it work for you. And first, let me say this. I know there could be a lot of people who talk down on positive thinking. They think it's all sunshine and rainbows and maybe too hippie. And they say things like, it's all about the grind. You have to have the drive, right? To stop being lazy. They think that all you're doing is just ignoring the negative stuff. And how is that really helpful and blah, 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 right? That's what people think. First, let me say, no, it's not about ignoring the negative stuff. It's about looking at all the things in life. Because let's be honest, if you're truly thinking about it, what's negative and positive is only the label you put on it. It is, because you can just as easily take that negative thing, look at it for what it is, and turn it into something positive. You can find that silver lining in some kind of way. I'll give you an example. For me, so I got arrested in college, and it was for the dumbest thing. Long story short, me and my roommates at the time couldn't afford the trash service. So I put a bunch of trash bags in the dumpster at this apartment next door. They called the cops. I got a ticket. I made a mistake, and this was my fault. I missed the court date, right? I got the date wrong. I thought it was a whole month later. Same day, just a different month. Ended up having a warrant for that bullshit. Got arrested. They gave me a public defender. Told me I was charged with illegal dumping, which is a felony. Yep. They were going to charge me with a felony for that. And the public defender said I should take a plea deal. Surprise, surprise. And plea out to theft by swindle. And my young dumbass didn't know what swindle meant back then. And it means to trick someone into paying you for their services. They claimed that I was swindling the apartment by using their dumpster. Again, I'm young. All I was concerned with was that I wasn't getting a felony. So I took the plea. And you can imagine how that looked on my background when I went to go look for a job. And it damn sure stopped me from getting a job. I was fresh out of college, not working in theater yet. I had no money, but I do have a minor in business, so I'm applying for office jobs, right? And I had an interview with Wells Fargo, and I forgot what position it would have been, but it was a salary position, full-time, making decent money. And they told me that my interview was strong and that I got the job pending a drug test and background check. And I was good on the drug test. And I explained to them, what they were going to find on my background check. And I never heard from them again. And yeah, you can definitely say that's a negative. But the silver lining in that, the positive I took from it, having that bullshit on my record kept me from using my business minor as a crutch. It forced me to lean even harder into theater. It forced me to really have to go all in. And yeah, I had little side hustles, but it was never nothing big, like retail jobs. And not to mention, if I took that salary job at Wells Fargo, there was no way that would let me be in the show. That would have held back my acting career in a major way. Not to mention, I literally couldn't do anything else. Every office job I ever had in the past, I hated it. I was ready to be done after like 3 months, every single one. So again, I found the positive in that situation. It was a terrible thing that happened to me, but it turned out to be one of the best things that happened to me. Now, can we try and turn as much negative into positive? Can we see this negative and create the best action? And for most of the negative things that happen in our lives, if we sit down and think about it, do we really wish they didn't happen? Because after that negative thing happened to us and we've had time to heal and process and time has gone by and we're in a better place, we can look back and see how that situation has changed us for the better. Like if you were in a bad relationship. Yeah, it was bad when you were in it, but it damn sure taught you some things. It damn sure showed you who you were and it showed you who to stay away from. So what good can you take from the bad things in your life? Because a lot of times those bad things came right before you experienced a stage of growth in your life. It wasn't fun to go through, but it made you who you are. And I just wanted to touch on that before we start talking about the positive thinking itself. And the thing is, most people talk more negative to themselves than positive. It's true. Check out this stat. Studies show that people think more negative, that on average, up to 80% and sometimes more of people's thoughts are negative. 80%. Just think about that for a second. 80% of the average person's thoughts are negative. So hell yeah, it's hard to make positive thinking work if it's only 20% of your thoughts. Hell yeah, it's going to be hard to make positive thinking work. That's 4 times more negative thinking than positive thinking. Who do you think would win in a fight? The 80-pound man or the 320-pound man? That 80-pound man don't have a shot, and neither do your 20% of positive thoughts. So when folks say, well, I've been trying to think positive, I've been thinking more positive lately, yeah, it's going to be hard for positive thinking to start working if only 20% of your thoughts are positive and 80% are negative. Think about it like this. So when children are born, right, they're pure, right? The world hasn't shaped the way they see things. Their minds are basically like a sponge. So imagine their brains as like this big jug of water, a big clear jug of water, and you can see right through it. And then the world gives them all that it gives them, and everything that happens to us, every negative thought, every problem, every negative thing that happens is like a spoonful of dirt. And adding dirt to this jug, a spoonful of dirt and throwing it in there, right? A spoonful of dirt, throw it in there. Somebody says something negative to you, throw that dirt in there. And we know life is hard. People can really go through it, full of ups and downs. And what happens is every negative thing that happens to us, more dirt goes in. Every negative person in our lives, all the things, more dirt. And that dirt could be externally as well as internally about the things you say to yourself in your head. And if every negative thought you have is like another spoon of dirt, adding dirt to what used to be a very clear, pure jar, you realize, okay, you know what? I need to start thinking more positive. And you have a positive thought and you add that spoon of clear water in the jug, in the jar. Then you have another positive thought and you put that spoon in there. You decide to do something for yourself, another spoon. Then you look up and nothing has changed. And you say, well, damn, this positive thinking just don't work. No. Positive thinking won't work when you only do a little bit of it. It doesn't work when you just start, because think about all the years and years and years of dirt. All the negative thoughts, the 80% of them being mixed in with the few spoonfuls of clear water you just started to put in. Bad things happen in this world. People talk negatively to themselves. We call ourselves stupid, ugly, too fat, too poor. You don't have enough. You're not enough. You're not what society wants. Your parents don't love you. You fail in all your relationships. You're comparing yourself on Instagram to Instagram models and how they have a body way better than yours. Their hair is better. Somebody on Instagram has a better career than you. You see these people who make a lot of money and you feel broke. And this happens over and over and over again. And those spoonfuls of dirt just keep getting thrown in, and that clear water ain't clear at all anymore. Because life happens. Scars happen. And this is why I always say, you have to be your biggest fan. You have to be your biggest fan. You have to speak positively to yourself. Start demanding happiness in your life. Think about all those negative things you say to yourself. And think about a child, someone younger than you that you love. Your child, a brother, a sister, a niece, a nephew, some child that you would say you have love for, would you say all those things, all those negative things you say to yourself to them? Would you say you're so fat, you're so ugly, you'll never get a man as good as that because he's out of your league? You should find another job because you always broke. That outfit looks stupid on you. Why in the hell would you think that would look good? Why do you even try to complete this? You don't have enough of that. Just like you wouldn't say any of that to a child you love, why in the hell do you say it to yourself? You have to demand happiness in your life. And one of the first things you need to do is to recognize and identify all the negative thoughts you have in your head. What's up, what's up, what's up? I want to take a quick moment to say thank you so much for listening to this episode and to also let you know that this podcast is 100% donation driven, which means it's completely funded by you, the listener. So if you like the content I have to offer, I would love it if you can make a donation and you get to pick the amount. I left links in the description of the video as well as my homepage. You can choose which way benefits you the best to donate. And if you need more options, please feel free to email me at dariusdotch@gmail.com. That's dariusdotch@gmail.com. Again, thank you so much for being here, and let's get back to it. And so what a lot of folks do, the light bulb turns on for them and they say, okay, you know what? I'm going to think more positive. I'm going to jump on this positive train everybody keeps talking about. And when people think about positive thinking, they don't think about that dirty jug of water that's been accumulating over the years. And they think positive for a few days, for a week or two. And they say, you see, this shit just don't work. Well, no, because your positive thinking went from 20% to 21%. Hell no, it didn't work. 21% is still dirty. Even if you went up to 30%, 30% compared to 70% dirt is still dirty water. So what do you need to do? Well, what you need to do is turn on the hose. So imagine that big jug of dirty water. And what you do, what do you think would happen if you could imagine this for a second? If you put a hose in that jug and you turn the water on full blast. Well, at first, you'll see the dirt start to swirl around, right? And it might look like it's getting even dirtier. It's not getting any clearer, right? And you keep the hose in there and you keep putting that positive thinking in overdrive. You talk positive to yourself all day, every day, as much as you can. And not only are you thinking and talking positive, because this won't completely stop the negative thoughts, but what you need to do every time is every time a negative thought pops up, you stop, you catch it, then you immediately replace it with a positive thought. With a positive thought that relates to that negative one. So if you think to yourself that you're not where you want to be in your career, catch that thought and say, I'm not where I want to be, but it's going to change. I'm excited to work on myself to become the person who gets to where they want to be. If you call yourself poor or broke, catch it and think of all the things you have to be grateful for and how you still can survive with what you have, how you're never as low as you think. And you keep that hose in that jar and you let that water keep pouring in. And what's going to start to happen is that dirty water will start to settle, right? Those negative thoughts start to settle after a while. The dirt is still there. Negative thoughts don't ever go away completely. But by now, over time, you put so much clean, clear, positive thinking water into this jug, into your brain, into your mindset that is clear. And now, whenever a spoon of dirt gets thrown in, you put so much clean water in there that is barely even noticeable. And that's what we need to work towards. You have to think positive all the time. Work at catching yourself and calling yourself out for all the negative thoughts and replace them. Don't let those negative thoughts identify you. Positive thinking isn't something that you do sometimes. You have to do it all the time as much as you can. Be aware of what you're consuming, what you look at online, the people you follow online, the stuff that you're reading, the people you spend your time with. Your time is way too damn important to spend a lot of it with negative energy around you, because we all know negative energy can be infectious. So why have that around you? So look, don't make the mistake that a lot of folks make. They make the same mistake when they decide to, let's say, lose weight. A lot of folks, they say, okay, I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going to go on this diet and get my weight down. I'm going to diet for a month straight. And they lose a little weight, probably not as much as they want to. And maybe they do. Maybe they lose what they wanted to lose. But what happens? A few months later, they're right back where they started. Why? Because they didn't make it a lifestyle. Who do you think is more likely to lose weight and keep it off? Person A, who decides to diet for 30 days, or person B, who decides to change their habits. And not only will they eat healthy, but they make it a lifestyle to eat healthy. They decide that from here on out, they're going to be a healthy person and they're going to eat right and start working out. And not only start working out, but prioritize it and make it part of their lifestyle. Eating healthy and working out is now part of who they are. Not just something they do as a quick solution to lose weight, but to be healthy. Who do you think is going to be better with keeping the weight off? Person B all day, right? Even if that person doesn't lose the weight as fast, they will have changed who they are. And over time, as a result, they will be able to eventually get to the weight they want to. At the same time, they will have also changed their identity. They will have changed their identity. And that's the exact same way positive thinking works. You have to make it a lifestyle. It has to be part of your identity. And if you can be in a place where your thinking is positive and you're only speaking positive to yourself, imagine the confidence you'll be able to give yourself. Imagine how you'd feel every morning. Imagine how you'll be able to handle problems that come your way. You'll start to be optimistic and things will start to work out in your favor. Why? Because you start to attract the positive things, the happiness, the opportunities, the moments, the people, and even the success. But it can't be something you just try. You have to make it part of who you are. So that's what I got for you today. If you like this episode, please share it with somebody that can benefit from this, somebody who is a friend or a family member, somebody who has goals and is trying to improve their lives. So thank you again, and let's get it in.